SMT Nation, we are back. Nation, in today's video, we've got updates out of the AT&T lead cable situation. I like to give you guys follow-up videos when good things, bad things, whatever's going on. We always like to follow through on items. And this one was a big story a couple years ago, and we covered the whole development, lead cables in AT&T and Lake Tahoe. I think originally the story was published out of the Wall Street Journal. Obviously, investors got pissed. There was going to be cost associated with the removal of the lead cables and the environmental risk and factors and lawsuits that were kind of, I guess, on the table. But we've got the follow-up here. Let me give you guys the details. Let's take a look at it. I'm going to go ahead and remove me for a moment as I kind of give you guys the update. And I got to increase the text so we can read. All right. So here's kind of like the situation with the lead cables as an update. AT&T confirming in an email Friday, and I think this story is from a week or two ago. Lead-clad cables have been removed from Lake Tahoe. Okay, so that's a good start to the project. This is a hugely important milestone for the lake and movement to keep Tahoe blue, according to Laura Patton, Natural Resource Director for the League to Save Lake Tahoe. Okay, so again, this was an ongoing issue. There was public outcry and pushback in this telecom infrastructure that's really outdated. And you got to remember something about these operators like AT&T. They were building these networks for the public, right? They're building them for businesses, for residential, people wanting to be connected, these phone lines, phone cables. And eventually this stuff gets outdated. It becomes legacy. It's got to get removed, but it has to be on the timetable to the carrier. They're going to do a cost analysis. They're going to say, well, we're not benefiting from this. The only way they respond is with lawsuits, which appears to have been the case, right? So they probably came up with an agreement with the EPA and these representatives from the lake and stuff like that. And these environmental watchdogs can be pacified. But the cables now getting removed, and this is new to me. Scuba divers found the abandoned cables in 2012. That means for the better part of the last decade, there was no action. And folks, as someone who is an environmental science educator, I can tell you for a fact, lead poisoning in water is a thing. That is a very, very touchy subject. We all saw what happened in Flint, Michigan. Lead is a neurotoxin, right? So it's really not something we're willing to risk from an environmental health standpoint. So this particular cable or set of cables now removed offers a solution to a problem that spanned over 8 miles, right? Took multiple 12-hour shifts, several days, people working through the month of November. It finally got done. And when I look at the gear, I mean, what a beautiful landscape this is, Lake Tahoe. My goodness, absolutely gorgeous. Look at the tree line. Look at the water. This is a beautiful place. I'm really, really happy about this from an environmental science standpoint. As an educator, a naturalist, I think in nature, I'm really, really happy about this. And it goes to show you a little bit of pressure to carriers. And, they actually do respond. And look at all that. Look at the ships, the gear. This is a huge win. All right, so I'm going to bring me back in here. All right, bring my smiling face back in here. I'm really happy with the outcome. Very happy to see AT&T taking care of business. Sometimes you just got to be loud, right? And AT&T is not the type of company to do anything out of the goodness of their heart. Typically, most companies are not. But I'm really happy about this remediation. And, there's a very serious health risk. And I'm for sure happy about this outcome. There you go. What's left to do? Obviously, there's like other places outside of Lake Tahoe that have lead sheath cables. And they're going to have to be removed. And it's just going to be a piece by piece, small segment kind of time frame where companies are removing stuff and replacing. And, it's going to take time. This is probably going to happen over the course of a couple of decades, right? I could see this dragging on through 2040, across different places in the country. Anyways, you guys happy about this? I am definitely. I'm looking forward to more solutions like this in the future. Good job, AT&T, for doing the right thing. Obviously, they weren't going to do it by themselves. They were going to need pressure. So, anyways, drop me a line. Tell me what you think about all this. You are the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard.